Giant crimson.
I'll come down there and put them in the ground somewhere.
No, because you put them right where I don't want them.
I'll prove you wrong.
Hi everyone, welcome back. So it is me today. Matt has just been busy with so many things. So sorry if you're hoping to see Matt, maybe he'll swing in later. But if you watched yesterday's garden tour, you saw that I finally finished the garden. Matt and I got everything in, everything is done, everything is planted. In fact, I ended up having to plant most of it because he's been so busy. And then today he snuck off for a little bit, and let me show you what he came home with. So he came home with 50 tomato plants. 50! Granted, we totally underplanted our tomato plants this year. He's correct. But I was done in the garden, so I'm kind of like, wait, what? Where are we gonna put this? What are we gonna do? So, come along for this crazy journey while I try to fit 50 more plants in the garden. Hear me out. Our tomato plants are planted right now 12 inches apart. And last year, I'm pretty sure we planted them 12 inches apart. I might have to look back at an old video and check. But I'm pretty sure we planted them 12 inches apart. And here's why I think that is because we have that water line under here, and every 12 inches there's a hole. So I'm pretty sure we planted the exact spot so that they'd be 12 inches apart. This year, when I found the water line, there's quite a few wood chips on top of it. So I did not even check to where I was planting these, just got them in the ground. So the water could be like off a little bit. But I wasn't too worried about it because they'll get their water. But theoretically, if I plant a tomato in between every single one of these, I can fit more than that 50. They all will fit in here. Since I only planted on one side, so on this side of the garden where I had a little bit more room for picking, I planted all the tomato plants on this side. Then I didn't plant any here, which also would be reasonable for picking. I planted on this side, which is going to be easier for picking, and then not on this side where we've got the beans and things. That's going to be a little bit harder. So what I'm thinking is it makes the most sense to plant every other on this trellis because I can easily pick tomatoes from either side. Now this trellis is going to be a pain in the rear if I am planting tomatoes on this side because I'm going to be bending down between our garlic, not trying to step on our garlic, not trying to step on the bean plants. Yeah, I don't like it. So let's fill up this trellis first and we're gonna go from there. I am a type A, want to be person. I would not say I'm super organized, but I want to be. Like, organization makes me happy. So I have organized all these tomatoes by type. I know exactly where each section of tomatoes is. See where I'm going? If I plant these tomatoes every other, I will not have any of the same type of tomatoes together. So this trellis is all Italian heirloom all the way down to almost the end, and then it's cherry tomatoes. This one has all our random tomatoes. So this is where I really want to keep them spaced so I know what they are. So here's what I'm thinking is if I plant these tomatoes that I'm pretty sure are mostly Romas in between all my Italian heirlooms, I can easily tell this is an Italian heirloom and this is a Roma. Now, as far as saving seeds from my tomatoes, I'm not too concerned with that. If I was, I would have planted all of one variety. We did plant 5 tomato plants in the greenhouse, and those are a special variety that we got from M.I. Gardner this year. They were a super old variety that they're kind of trying to bring back, and so we put them in there to save seeds, more so because that's just really neat and we want to be able to help contribute to that, to bring back that seed. So I think this will work. You think my wannabe type A personality can handle the Italian heirlooms mixed with the Romas? Now, I probably will reach out to my brother or sister-in-law to make sure these were mostly Romas, because how funny is it going to be when they're just like such a huge variety of like, what are they, the Better Boy, Bush Boy, something like that, the big ones or something like that. I'll never know where my Italian heirlooms are.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out.
It started thundering and it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow, so I would really love to get these in today. I'm about halfway down this first trellis and not quite halfway done. That can't be right, can it? Alright, I'm just gonna keep going and get as much done as I possibly can. Thankfully we still had some tomato fertilizer, so that's what I'm using. So I planted all along this trellis all the way down, and I have 10 plants left. So I'm trying to decide if I want to plant along this trellis or do something completely different, like put them in pots or something, or see if I can find a home for them. So if I plant 5 on each end, that brings me to about here. So right where our garlic starts. So that's not awful. And I think those are mostly cherry tomatoes. So again, I'll be able to tell the difference. This is not the most convenient side at all. Okay, let's see. If I plant 5 on this end, that'll bring us to right about here. It's kind of the start of our bush beans. It's not really ideal. It looks like there's so much room in our garden, but like this area all over here by the pear tree, that is completely packed full with celery. This is all kohlrabi. These rows are all beans. Over here I have our broccoli. There's a small area in between, but that was for me to get to the broccoli and the kohlrabi. And then the area like I'm walking is, I'm gonna need somewhere to walk, right? In fact, I ended up, when I planted the peppers, I filled up this whole area. I have no pathways to like easily get to the pigs or easily pick the peppers. I'm gonna have to like go over a pepper to get to a row kind of thing. But it is what it is. I also have this little space between the lettuce and the garlic. Again, that was a pathway to get to our strawberries. So that doesn't really seem ideal either. Could plant some in this bed out here. There's probably a spot easily for one. It's going to kind of shade the peony plant, which I don't really like. I could plant them in here where we have the zinnias and the borage coming up. I mean, they would just grow up around it. I don't know, I'm kind of at a loss here of what to do. Alright, time to consult Matt. I found him. What you doing, Matt?
Matt things.
Matt things. He's always doing something. He's replacing the doorknobs on our door. One of them got weird. I don't know. Broke. It got weird. It broke.
All the above.
So, he's doing that. So you brought home 50 tomatoes today.
It was 50?
50 tomato plants
Nice.
today. And I planted 40.
What?
And I have 10 left. And I could shove in 5 and make it work.
No,
reasonably.
We can put 10 up by like the where we put them last year. Or not all the way up there. We just made a sale. We can put, what if we put 10 up by like the cabbage? Because we have those racks to use yet. Oh, in by the onions. Put
Which
it out there,
onions?
wherever the big garden bed.
Do you just want me to pull some onions out and do it?
No, there's onions that didn't come up or whatever.
I'm just
We're making room.
I'm
We're
just
planting.
giving you a hard time. So we've come up with a couple
All your
options.
fault. You didn't plant any aromas for me for my fresh salsa.
I did. I planted San Marzanos, which are basically the same thing. And I'm pretty sure these are also all San Marzano.
Well, let me put. Yeah, it is. Let me put you on the spot a little bit. What are those tomato plants that we planted from M.I. Gardner?
Oh, the crimson something. Crimson. I don't know. I was talking to them about it and I forgot the name of it. Giant crimson something.
Okay. Sounds exciting.
Uh-huh. And so anyways, we have 10 plants left. I could reasonably shove 5 in. They'll still be a little hard to pick, but not awful. If I put 10 in, I'm going to make it's going to be awful. And we came up with some other options, so I could plant them in with like the borage and the
You can put one
zinnias.
over by the garlic. Put one plant over there on the corner. Yeah, you can. Just start plopping them.
The only place left is walking paths, and we have little walking paths the way it is.
Ach, no
So
way.
I could put one there, yes, but that's where I'm already shoving in the other ones. So I could put one there, yes, but it will completely block the path to the strawberries. So here's our thoughts.
In between the cabbage and the trellis. There's another spot for one. There's spots all over down there.
So my thoughts are I could put them in with the borage and the zinnias.
I planted more tomatoes last year than you did this year. You can make it work. I made it
We
work.
also planted like 40 kohlrabi.
Why'd you plant so many colors?
I don't know. What was I thinking? No, I didn't plant them.
Oh, we
It's
can't put
like-
one in the greenhouse.
I know. I was thinking of putting them in pots and just putting them somewhere. But then I'm like, well, we do have, like you're saying, those cage trellises. So I'm like, I could put them in one of the onion beds. But I don't really want to take up onion space. So the only other option is to put them in where there's zinnias and borage and just let them all grow together. But that kind of ruins the
Yeah, I don't
look.
want to do that. Well,
Or we can find someone to gift them to.
no. We're planting them. They're gifted to us to be planted.
Okay.
We can't put any of them
Maybe
up towards
one by the mailbox.
We can't put any of them up towards the greenhouse because of cross-pollination.
Yeah, I don't want them by the giant crimson.
I'll come down there and put them in the ground somewhere.
No, because you put them right where I don't want them.
I'll prove you wrong.
This isn't proving me wrong. They're already spaced 6 inches apart.
You know I'll get them in there. I'll do it.
Oh my goodness. All right. Did that clarify for everyone where we're going to plant the tomatoes? I'm not sure I am quite clear. So one of the spots right here that he mentioned, between the cabbage and the arch, where that dill is growing, kind of don't want to plant it. I could plant one right here, right as we're walking through the trellis. I don't know. I guess as you're coming through here, why not have a tomato plant right here? Why not, right? The other spot was on the corner of the garlic, but I already planned on planting like 5 or so right here, so that would be super crowded then if I plant one there. And I'm not gonna, that one makes sense, but I'm not gonna plant one there instead of planting 5 here. Look at Charlie sleeping in the strawberries. He's been spending every day I'm out here either in the raspberries or in the strawberries sleeping. Okay, let's see. So I have nothing planted on this edge of the raspberries, but specifically because I want to be able to come in here and pick them. All right, so all 10 plants are in. I ended up going back and forth on what I should do about this because I was thinking I could plant them all on this side and they're by the garlic. Hard to pick because the garlic's in the way, right? Or I could plant them on that side and then they're on the side with the beans. Hard to pick because the beans are in the way. But The beans, one of the first things we're harvesting from the garden. We come through, we harvest them, but we keep the plants there. We end up harvesting garlic around July. When we harvest garlic, we're just pulling up the whole thing, so it will all be taken out. So I'm pretty sure it makes the most sense to have them on this garlic side. So it ended up that the 10 tomatoes went about to the end of the garlic. So I should be able to come in here and pick a little bit before our garlic is picked, and then when our garlic is picked, will be full-blown tomato season, and then I will be picking tomatoes. So I think that will work out all right. I am hoping to get some more green beans in, so when this garlic comes out, I will be putting rows here, but I probably just won't put them as far as I would have otherwise. So anyways, that's it. All 50 tomatoes planted. Unexpected extra blessings. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. I'm glad you got to see me again. Bye.